start, and this is recording will start soon. And you just selected yes or no?
I have to say yes.
Yeah, you have to say yes, I guess. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. It says
Yes.
I don't know. I thought maybe it was going to send you a message or something, but I guess it didn't. So, cool. Whatever. Hey, check this out. Now I have a backdrop right there. See?
I should put a backdrop.
Yeah, it's like a curtain right there.
Yeah, I have one.
All right, so let's go over some of that stuff that we were talking about before. So we were saying, that when I was 2 years old, you went to Japan for the first time, right?
Yeah, not 1986.
1986. Who'd you meet while you're over there?
Kazuhisa, Suguto.
Suguto.
Yeah, Suguto.
Suguto. I don't know
Yeah.
how to spell it.
Hideo, Noriko.
But all of them?
Yeah, all there.
Because you had some before, like years prior for a few years or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
What'd you say? You said Kazuhisa or Kazuhisa, Sugoto, who?
Oh, there's a whole bunch.
You
Yoshi,
said Norida.
Norida, Minoru.
Yeah, okay. So I at least got some of these on there. I got Noriko and I got Hiro
Noriko.
Yoshi. Yeah.
Noriko.
Yeah. And you were saying that I didn't speak. Like I was I didn't speak
You were
until
dependent on me, so you didn't. The minute I left, you started asking for your own stuff.
oh, that's good. Yeah. So it's a
Yeah,
good
your
thing
dad
that
goes, you don't have to talk baby talk to him. He understands you. Like, that's so sad.
That's gotta be sad. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, he changed so much. And how long were you in Japan for during that time?
about 4 weeks, almost.
Oh, so you're only there for a month, and all of a sudden I learned
Yeah,
the English language.
yeah,
that's sad.
it is. It was
And
very.
there was also a little something that you said. Well, first off, you're saying is because you did everything for me, right?
Yeah.
And then you said that there was something that you went to.
It was like, I think it was called Jamboree, and it was supposed to be for so babies are closer to their mom or dad or whoever's taking them. And
Yeah.
Aunt Chris, I told her what it was and what it was all about, and she goes, "If he was any closer, he'd be in your womb."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. I remember going to all those places that you would take the students. I don't remember the first memory of it. I couldn't tell you that, but I remember like you're taking them to the church that was nearby us right around the corner to
Yeah,
teach them English lessons.
English.
Yeah, English. Is that what you just said?
Hello.
Oh,
Hi.
hello.
It doesn't want to stay up there.
That's all right. It doesn't need it. You could just face it towards the floor and we'll see what happens.
Okay, here
Just
we go.
hold it like a microphone, but towards your face, like a selfie
I
stick.
feel like just the top of my
I
head.
can see just from here up.
Yeah, this is why your dad thinks I'm crazy.
Why is that?
When I do stuff like this. He always tells everybody, see, that's what I had to put up with.
But it's the camera's fault, not yours in this case.
I agree.
All the other cases, it's your fault.
Okay, here we go.
So
Are you sick
yeah,
yet?
I remember going to like Disneyland all the time and Universal Studios all the time, and this is before prices are crazy. I'm sure it was probably expensive back then too, though.
I didn't have to pay for it though.
Oh, because that's right. You get like these group discounts, and they'd be like, "Yeah, you just bring them on in or whatever."
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. Hustling. You're always hustling.
Okay, does that look weird or is that okay?
No, it looks fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, so yeah, I remember doing all that stuff. LA City tour. We're always going Alvera Street, or what was it?
Alvera Street.
Alvera Street, and all different places downtown LA.
Yeah.
I mean, like Little Tokyo and Chinatown and all that stuff. But what is it? Grauman's Chinese Theater and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot, what else?
And the students always loved you guys. I mean, I think you have more pictures with foreign exchange students than me, probably.
Yeah, back when we were little, that's right. Yeah, there's a bunch of pictures of that. But also there was shoot, what else?
Well,
yeah, we liked them a lot because they'd always bring snacks every time they would come over.
yeah, and play with you. I said, "This is your new Japanese toy."
Run around and get all excited and stuff and show off.
I don't think it was mainly you. I think it was your brothers.
They did too.
They would get in front of the fan while I was gone, if I was gone, and they'd fart in front of it. So the students are like, "I caught you guys doing that."
Especially Mark.
Yeah.
Whoops, I didn't say that.
Name dropping.
It's probably just Matt only. He's the only one that would do something like that.
And I go, I caught you guys doing it, and they go, "They do it all the time."
You wonder.
I remember Hero putting tattoos on you guys, drawing tattoos.
Oh yeah, I remember them doing something like that.
Yeah. So, did you want me to name some of the stuff that I remember, as you were being little, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I wrote down some stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
When you were, it was 1988. So what were you, 4?
Yeah, 4.
It's the song Kokomo came out, and yeah.
Really, I thought that would have been a lot earlier because that was Beach Boys, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I remember the first time. I don't know if it was the first time you heard it, but one of the first time you turned around to me, and when they said, "Come on, pretty mama," you go, "You're my pretty mama."
Yeah.
That's why I really loved you.
I think I remember saying that actually.
Yeah. And then when you play soccer, it was so much fun watching you try to catch
butterflies. I'm sure it's pretty frustrating for other people.
Oh, one of my favorite memories is you going, we were going to soccer. Mm-hmm. And it probably took 15-20 minutes to get there because I can't remember where we were, but maybe at the house. It seems like it was Kmart, and we were going to soccer, and you were doing the skit from In Living Color, wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. No. And you kept on singing all these different songs to me. But, I think everybody loves the picture of you with long blonde hair, curly, running at Lake Havasu. Most of the time, Tammy and I were talking about this, most of the time you were naked and you were trying to get over the back fence.
This was in the first house though.
Yeah. No, I was hoping it wasn't in the house that we're in right now.
The Norco house. Yeah, he still hasn't broken his habit. He's 11 years old. No, actually I was 15, 16 or something.
Yeah. I saw in Vancouver, not Fillmore, that you were running down the street naked. You got over it. There was like a pile of wood.
So was in Fillmore or did you say Vancouver? It was in Vancouver. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So you were like 3, you would get on the pile of wood, jump over, and run down the street naked. Why naked?
Freedom.
And I remember the little boy and girl that lived down the street, which was called the Blue Boys. You go, I'm going to go play with my friends, the Blue Boys.
Yeah.
You could explain that.
Because they're both wearing blue shirts the first time that I met them. They're both wearing blue tank tops, like jerseys.
They were black. I thought you just got a color.
No. That I remember. That's why, because I
was a boy girl
wearing blue. Yeah, and I was like,
oh, it's that way. Okay.
Yeah, there was a reason.
And then I'm gonna go down and see my friend of Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
send me to my dread room.
Yeah. The dread room.
The dread room.
That makes sense though, because it was a scary place.
The
It's really
dread.
sad. All the bad memories if you're gonna send me there.
The one thing that you did, like I was telling Josh this, I go, I should have had teenagers first because you were so much help. Your dad worked all the time and I had zero help at night, no diaper changes, nothing.
Mhm.
And so you had pity on me and you would take Aaron and kind of walk with him like this, and jerk him, like up and down until he
Kind of
felt
bouncing a little bit. Yeah.
bit. And then there was more than one time I came in and you were rocking him and you guys were both passed out in the chair. Um,
That was the most comfortable rocking chair, that glider one
yeah,
that we had. It
that
was so
one.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the cushions on it and the way that it glided and everything. I
yeah,
remember.
you were such a big help.
I
And
remember too, something else about that was, and I don't know if you remember this because it wasn't just in the chair, it was also in his room, right? Uh, which was Mark's bedroom at one point in time. Remember the one
yeah,
that was straight down the hall?
yeah,
Um, he would, he'd be screaming and crying or whatever, and mostly it's because you're busy or whatever, something like that, and he wanted to, kind of like me when I was younger. I remember, I want mom, and Mark would be like, you can't, she's working right now, stop calling her, but it was the same kind of thing. And so, and plus Aaron was tired, he's just younger and he's tired or whatever. And so I'd hold on to him and I would hum. And just by humming, I think it like relaxed him and then he
mhm.
would pass out. But then I'd fall asleep too because it was relaxing.
Good
By the
relax.
time he was done, I was worn out and we'd both just knock out right there on the floor on a blanket or something like that. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really funny too, I think, is when grandma and grandpa come over, everybody turn off the TV just to watch you. You were so dang funny that they're like, you dance for us, you do all kinds of stuff.
Who knows? Who knows what I said? I don't. I
I
don't
know, but
remember.
we were all laughing. And I go, let's just turn off the TV and watch Jared. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So, um, I think the only thing that you really went through that was hard was Steve's death. Uh, I didn't understand it. I'm like, what is changing with Jared? And um, Brian's mom told me, she said when Brian's grandpa died, he went through the same thing. He was like,
Oh,
he
really?
loved him. Yeah, he loved him. And
You mean my friend of Brian?
your friend of Brian.
Okay, my friend of Brian.
Yeah, he uh he went through a lot because he just loved his grandpa. And you love Steve.
Susan, um, she was like at that time. I think she was kind of like a second mother kind of thing. She was like so nice and understanding, and and then like Tim would come home, and I'm like, oh,
I
it's like
know.
my second dad, where he's like, want to
Yeah,
like disappoint him or whatever, but he's always like, oh, here, have him go home, But she was always like, yeah, come on over, and it's good, and she was just so kind and understanding, and
yeah,
she
she
seemed
was.
like she was kind of like you, like she would have a lot of good insight, and she wasn't meaning any harm by anything she ever said. She's always trying to you know just make sure that we're safe and but having a good time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's some good memories of her as well. But I think you two got along just fine, right? You and
Oh yeah,
Susan.
she's really sweet.
Yeah, she always was, huh?
Yeah. She probably still is. Probably
Yeah,
still looks the same. She
yeah.
never
It's kind of sad though that I haven't said anything to her in a long time. Probably since we moved out of.
yeah.
I think I've probably seen her once or twice after that, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
anyway, what's that?
You saw Brian.
I did. Yeah, I think once on
Was he working
Facebook
on a
I seen
job
his
or
whole
something?
family. What's that?
He was working on some job that, oh, your dad was on. He was working for Tim or something. Steel mill?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't remember if it's like Fontana Steel or
Yeah.
something, or California Steel, or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, and Tim, he was in whatever department. I think Brian was like an estimator, so they're probably working for the project management team or something like that. And yeah, so that's where I don't know where he's at now. Like if they're still doing that or what happened to that steel mill, or I have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on.
And then your other friend was Edward.
Yeah, Edward. Yeah.
You were a
Yeah,
good
I haven't
example. He
seen
got
I haven't seen him
baptized.
in a while either. It's really sad. I think the problem is just getting older and moving around a lot, and then I lose touch with so many people. Like I haven't, people in China, people on my mission. I try to contact them, but sometimes their contacts and from this is starting to kind of be a little bit about me here, but just stuff like that
You're a big
happens.
part of my life.
What's that?
You're a big part of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
But yeah, oh yeah, go ahead.
I really appreciated you before Grandma died, before your mission,
Mm.
uh, going over there and being the best missionary, even before you went on your mission. You know, you drew her closer to Christ before she died. And I know you were desperate before she left to maybe have her hang on and that, but it was her time. And I'm really grateful that I could get a hold of you on your mission and have you say your goodbyes to her. She lit up when she knew it was you. She couldn't talk, but you talked to her. I think she just really appreciated um, what this life is all about, knowing that her grandson was serving people and serving God. I mean, that was her ultimate joy, you could, and mine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
that was definitely some good memories right there for sure. I mean, she taught me a few things while I was hanging out with her and stuff, I mean, she had been hospitalized a couple times. I remember that. And so I'd go over there and like massage her legs and feet because they're hurting and things like that. And just trying to, I don't even know why I did that. I don't know if somebody told me to do that or what the deal was, but I just felt like that was the
You were
thing.
always doing, and it really helped me because I was working so many hours and regrettably, you can't get those back. But I always said you're like a junior daddy. You really helped your brothers. I don't think they would be where they are today if it wasn't for you. Uh,
That
I
was a
think,
lot of fun too,
I think,
especially, yeah.
I think moms need that help, and I'm really glad that you were there to help.
I think it was kind of cool. Actually, Mark said something, I think it was just after his mission, sometime before my mission, right? Um, I was kind of doing some of the wrong things in high school and stuff, and he's like, you know, you want your little brothers to look at you that way, like because they look up to you, and what you do is going to leave an example to them of what they're going to be like and what they're going to do. And I mean, I already felt bad about, getting caught doing certain things and stuff anyway, but I think that really made me think about it a little bit more. And I thought about how young Aaron and Josh were at that time and how, cute and innocent they were. And I was just like, you know what, that's right. That's right. I need to be a better example. And I started reading the scriptures with Aaron. I think he was like, what, in first grade or second?
Probably.
I don't know, but I started reading the Book of Mormon with him, and I think we got through the whole thing before my mission.
You did. You did.
And then I also worked with him on his math, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden, his math and his English went, like through the roof, and all of his teachers were like, "This kid's a genius," and it's like, but that stuck with me for my own kids too, because I looked at it like, it doesn't take that much more for, not that this is the only purpose, but for little kids to look like geniuses, than to just, and not every parent has the time to do that. But if they do have that, a little bit of extra time, just do that extra little bit of math when they're on, summer break. They can do fun things, but also do a little bit of, reading with them, and, a little bit of homework, or learn another language. Like Ezra's right now, he's been learning some Chinese, but now he's in Spanish class and learning some Spanish with him, trying to help him out with that too. But that's kind of a little aside there. But the thing is when, as not Ezra, I always do that whenever I say Aaron and Josh. A lot of times I'll say Ezra and Garrison. But
well, you'll do worse when you get older.
I already do.
Just like Aaron was Jaron. I would go, Aaron, Jaron. It's like I had another son,
But that was the thing that I remember. I remember while I was on my mission looking at a picture of them and going, oh my gosh, they got so big. And I didn't think of the fact of how big they would get within a year.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I immediately kind of felt sad. I'm like, I'm missing so much,
Yeah. You were a good example to go on a mission.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, look at them. They both went,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
One of the funniest things I thought, I was so used to, I mean, like I would saying the baby is Jared, so when Aaron would, I have to go change his diaper, I go, I got to go change Jared. And you're like, really, Mom?
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron.
Yeah, not at this point. Well, something else that I was going to say too, that when you're talking about me going over and visiting Grandma, there's a couple things that she taught me that, and it was actually something that Grandpa said that made me go, you know what, sure, why not? Was she was all in arts and crafts, right? She knew how to paint, she knew how to crochet, she knew how to whatever. She could play instruments, all that kind of stuff, which was very inspirational to me because when I was in high school, I didn't necessarily like I'm trying to pick up on the bass guitar or the guitar, and I never really followed through with it. It wasn't until after my mission that I was like, I'm going to learn this thing. That's what I'm going to do. Whatever I put my mind to, that's what I'm going to do. But she was inspirational to me at that time, where she taught me how to make, like, out of scrap things around the house. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you want to build a covered wagon, that kind of a thing. So she taught me how to do that, out of like an old 2-liter soda bottle, which do they have those still? I don't buy soda. Yeah. So okay, so they do. Anyways, Grandpa brings out his knife, and he's like helping me cut out the top of it, and then we like put some kind of toothpicks or something, wheels through it, and shows me some stuff, and then so we build ourselves a little wagon or something like that. And then she was saying something about, she was crocheting probably like an Afghan or something like that, and I go, I was like, that's pretty cool, and I started talking to her about it. I was like, that's not really something that like a guy would learn how to do. It's more of like something that women do. And then Grandpa goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, what? He's like, you don't think guys can crochet or knit or whatever? You think that's something that women do only? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, nah, he's like, guys can do that too. But for some reason, what's that?
Because he had asthma so bad, and they lived, I'm thinking it's Colorado. Yeah, Colorado.
Grandpa did?
It was, yeah. And it was so cold that he couldn't go out because he had asthma so bad. So he would knit.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that. He didn't tell me that.
His mom, yeah. He had to have something to do.
You know what? And the thing is, I was a younger, teenager, just whatever I didn't know a whole lot. I'm going to tell you that right now. I was very ignorant to a lot of things outside of Southern California, even though I had exchange students come. A lot of times exchange students taught me stuff, about world history or about whatever.
Oh, I was going to say.
Well, okay. They taught me some other things too, but yeah, from their point of view, right? And that was like, oh, okay, cool. Now I have some different perspective, but I didn't learn anything about a lot of these types of things that I'm saying right now until I talked to grandpa and grandma. And it's really sad because the last couple of years of my, being a teenager, when I was younger, I was just have fun, go play. And I just never, and I tell this to my like people that I work with, I was constantly, as a kid, it was hard to get me to do homework or anything like that because I would, what's that?
Because you're a kid.
Because I was a kid, but if you guys were gone, working or whatever, of course I'm not going to do homework. But, I might be playing video games, but on the other hand, I might not be. I might be outside playing street hockey, playing some basketball, street ball or whatever, be doing stuff like that, rolling around my rollerblades, climbing trees, going to the school after school, climbing up onto the roof, stuff like that. I was scaling the fence. Yeah, I was scaling the fence in our backyard, looking at other people's backyards, and thinking back about that, some of those neighbors are like, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to steal something? But to me, I was just like, no, I'm just, this is what I do. I'm having
fun. The Flanders next door.
The Flanders.
I
forgot. What's that?
Idly ho, neighbor. Your son is winning a buck.
I think Matt and Mark will remember the Flanders a little bit better. I do remember something about them, but I think they'll remember them more because I totally forgot until you said that. I remember there's something about what the kid, he probably had some glasses or whatever, and they're both.
I don't know. They were just like that. You'd walk up and they go, idly ho, neighbor.
They didn't say that though, but it's what you thought every time they would say something.
We called them the Flanders.
Yeah. And then there was a couple of houses down there. Yeah, go ahead. Uh-oh, should I stop recording?
I'm caught now.
Oh, I need to get a drink too then. Here, I'll be right back.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna put a little something in the background. Oh no. What does it say? The world's worst what?
Sometimes I feel like I have the worst job in the world, and it's toilet paper and a toothbrush.
Yeah, right.
And the toilet paper says, yeah, right.
Yeah, huh?
Okay, I feel better now.
That's probably not better, but we'll go with it. I thought you said you're gonna go get something to drink. Did you?
Okay, now I'm back.
Okay. But I don't see you though.
Gonna get my booster chair. Okay.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, yeah, some of the other people on the block at the time, couple houses down, I don't remember his name. I remember Sean.
Sean, who stole from us all the time.
Yeah, he stole from us all the time, and his dad would do like a buzz cut on his lawn and then trim it back like an inch every.
Yeah, gutter this big.
I think I went back there and there's like 3 feet back.
Yeah.
It's like 3 feet back from the sidewalk. There's a big old dirt patch.
Yeah, that was
pretty line all the way around his yard or his lawn.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, that's strange. And then the yard just past Brian's house, there was somebody that had like a garden that was what do you call it? That was like set up like a little Chinese garden. There was like a little well that had like the little
Well, their
longo.
house was red too, I think. Red and black and
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right. It was
yeah,
painted red, black, and white. That
yeah,
was so weird.
yeah,
But yeah, they had like little Buddha sculptures or things like that, and like a little I think that's what they had, something like that. And then they had um like a well that had like the Chinese
yeah,
longo, like the dragon, they call it like dragon bone, or dragon skeleton, what do you call it, roof, like how it goes like that and comes
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they really
I don't
decorated.
even remember what they look like, do you?
I don't. They were
I don't
never
think I ever
outside.
saw them.
They're, yeah, like the Burbs or something. They never came out. You don't know what happened in there. And then across, what was it? Across Acacia. That side was Acacia, right? Across from there, there's the
Yeah,
Petersons. We
and
go over there.
Sycamore.
Sycamore was on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the other
I
neighbors.
just remember something else you did. It was pretty
Just,
funny.
oh yeah, yeah.
Apparently VCRs, you can't put peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in them.
Yeah, well, and you also can't open up stereos and pop out little capacitors and diodes and stuff and expect it to work still.
That doesn't.
But I did learn that there's little components in there that would stop it from working. Yeah, learned a lot about that. I
Yeah.
guess that's why I learned so much about little things like, I don't know, like I learned how to work with my hands, but I also learned stuff about computers and how to do stuff with it.
Mhm.
You know, I learned how to open up VCRs and fix it.
There you go.
Or whatever kind of electronic, because I would open up computers and stuff like that, and I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have somebody telling me, but then
Yeah.
I learned, oh, there's a little battery right here that you got to switch out for the sound, and then there's little cards, and you can increase the memory or the the RAM and things like that, and and I learned about that kind of stuff by breaking stuff first, and then learning how to fix it and
Yeah.
what goes into it. I mean, I don't think you or Dad taught me any of that stuff, and I just learned it from messing around until I figured it out. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a few times where probably made somebody upset, but
I think when I was thinking about all the, the mistakes I made and everything, I wasn't as hard on you as I was probably Matt because he was the oldest, but
yeah, your first kid.
first
That's
kid.
uh,
But after I went, this is one of the questions that Josh and I were talking about is when I went to Education Week when you guys were pretty young. I don't think I ever really yelled at you guys after that because he was explaining that if you yell at kids, they're just going to think you're out of control and they won't have any respect for you. And and it really just I think made everything so much better, and I went to see him the next year and uh it just he goes, "How do you think that really helped?" And I go, "Well, I did you ever get a spanking, Josh?" And he goes, "No, I don't remember one." Because I found out that a lot of that doesn't help. A lot of building the child up, loving them, and you were easy to love. I don't remember ever really having any problems with you. And after that, really, the
other than the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I was a perfect kid. So,
yeah, yeah,
so.
yeah. Let's see how this plays
No
out.
problems. We're not going to talk about my high school days, are we? I don't think that's not a part of it. That was after you're 36 years old, so no, we're not allowed to say anything about that.
No, you were awesome. I loved I don't know if you loved it, but I loved it when I said, "Okay, well, we're having some issues and you're going to be my best friend all summer." Do you remember what you said to me just before you went on your mission?
Uh-uh.
You said, "Thank you for being my best friend."
Oh, I did, huh?
You did. You might be lying, but you said it. I remember one time that we were at the Norco Fair when you're in your teens, and you went on the zipper with me.
Uh-huh.
Goes, it's really fun having a mom, like you were going, this is really fun. Be with my
Right.
mom, going on the zipper. Yeah,
Yeah, and you're not under the pressure of like trying to be cool with your friends and stuff. You're just
yeah, we
having a
just
good
had
time.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we actually had a really fun summer, and I think it really helped
Yeah,
because you try. As a parent, you try. You know.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think there's a couple things that I learned from that experience between that and hanging out with grandma too. Or maybe it was before that. For some reason I had just, something just, came to my brain saying, "Hey, these kids at school," and I just figured out like, okay, I'm gonna make my own new definition of what a friend is. A friend is somebody that would jump in front of a car, like, or push you out of the way of a car, jump in front of a bullet for you, kind of thing. So, in other words, all the kids at school, or most all of them, 99% of them, are people you hang out with. They're
Yeah.
not necessarily your actual friend that you can trust under every circumstance of every,
Mhm.
and that's the way that I figured it. And then I started thinking my family are the only friends that I really have. I don't mind hanging out with other people. And that reduces a lot of stress on the individual as well, because then you think, I can just be whatever I want to be. And if they don't like it, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of did it that way, and just focused on my family more than anything else at that point in time. I focused on hanging out with you, learning stuff from dad, from my older brothers, teaching stuff to my little brothers and enjoying time with them, hanging out with grandma and grandpa or whoever. Um,
Well, I was proud of you then, but I'm even more proud of you now, for doing that. When I look back, yeah, exactly. When I look back at the videos that you took of your brothers and that, I wasn't there to do it,
oh, those are some funny videos though, huh?
and I was glad that somebody was there that loved them. And you
Yeah.
did. Yeah, you know it. And to this day, if you ask, well, it depends who's in the room at the time, but who's their favorite brother, like Aaron will go, oh yeah, sure, for sure. You know,
Yeah.
but you invested a lot in them, and they really appreciate it. Josh asked what, like, you taught them what Mark taught them. I said, Mark did a lot of the swimming, with, and you did too, teaching them how to do that.
Mm,
Just, and one of the things the foreign exchange students said, I had a bunch of foreign exchange students, I think they're from Germany,
mm.
but uh, they said, we've never seen older siblings love their younger siblings like your boys do.
Yeah, I think, and it doesn't have to do necessarily with culture, um, because even over here, it's similar to that too. Like teenagers,
Yeah,
I mean, they're just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go out and party. That's it. I don't have time
yeah,
for family or whatever." And I mean, I did a little bit of that too, but the thing is there's more of like I think it's more about the gospel than anything else. The gospel, and it's not to say that the gospel, gets everybody in line and gets them to do what they ought to be doing or whatever, or
mhm,
makes them think what they ought to think, because um it's easy to fall away, or maybe you're just not necessarily a good person to begin with, and you're just, you're there because of somebody else, and that's it.
yeah,
But I really do feel like the gospel did help me in that way, because um it helped me kind of look at this life like it's important, but it's what's right in front of you is not that important.
yeah,
Like, I mean, the here and now, like, you need to treat it as like, um, what are you going to do here and now to benefit you more long term or into the eternities and things like that, instead of worrying and stressing about something that somebody said right now, or something that is, making you stressed out or whatever,
right.
um,
Every time that I've lost sight of that
yeah,
uh, was my most unhappiest times of my life. Every time that I put it in perspective and like, this is really what's important. Family, the
It's
gospel.
true. It's true because everybody knows it. Everybody that's experienced it and then tries to, and I go in and out of it. Everybody does, but to different varying degrees and stuff. But everybody that experiences what the gospel's like, that truly tries to partake of it, and then says, you know what, I don't really care about having that in my life. You tend to feel that dark cloud hang over you. And some people could say, well, that's a psychological thing that's happening to you and it's not real, it's not science based or whatever. Fine, whatever. But somehow, and everybody knows inherently, like the gospel, or not the gospel, but the light of Christ is inherently in everybody. Otherwise, how do you explain good and bad?
Yeah.
You can't.
I knew it when I didn't have it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
I was until I was 12 years old. I didn't have it. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't just go around killing people, or killing other people and eating them or whatever, but other animals do, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we have some kind of inherent thing that says, hey, this is wrong, but yeah. Now we're going into a gospel discussion.
Yeah. But you know what? In reality, that's who I am.
Yeah. It's a big part of our life. It's not something that and even though like I go in and out, like right now, I don't know, it's probably been what, 3-4 weeks or something since I've been to church, but I was going to church for 3 or 4 weeks in a row. I mean, it's kind of goes in and out, and kind of depends on what's going on in my life, how much other activities that I'm invested into, like right now, Garrison soccer and trying to learn Spanish. I don't even know why. It's just I get stuck on something, and I think Ray kind of laughs about it because she's like, okay, now he's gonna annoy me about this for like a year or two, and then it'll be something different.
It'll be something else.
But she's taking it well. Like she's not, and I'm trying to not just for her sake, but for anybody else's sake, not trying to be like overzealous and so fanatical about it, because I do get fanatical.
I was that way about the Japanese, or ballroom dancing. I got addicted to that.
Oh yeah, so maybe that's where I get it. Well, I also get it from Dad too, because when he's very driven to do something, he focuses heavily on that, like spends all his time and energy in that. And that's what I learned from both of you, is about how to stay driven, how to basically not let the current take you where the current's going to go. You can swim against the current and where you need to go. Like if you're trying to, I guess, that's probably a gospel analogy. Like, if this salmon stops swimming, they get, pushed backward downstream, right?
Yeah.
You have to as soon as you stop, you move backwards. And some people look at me like, hey, you're
of all the time that people waste.
Yeah.
And if you're doing something productive, I think learning period is a good thing. I know that psychologically, when I was dancing, I was thinking about it today. I'd like to do this with your dad. I'd really like to do. There's a song that goes from Argentine tango into a swing, and I'm like, man, that'd be really fun. But I'd love to do it. And he said,
what though? It's I forgot the word I was thinking of, but it's therapeutic. That's what I was going to say. It's therapeutic for you. Like everybody has everybody. That's why we have hobbies. That's why we have our interests and stuff like that, because I play guitar, and sometimes I don't have to play a song or learn something new. Sometimes I just play scales and stop thinking about stuff. And it's a way of meditating or whatever. And, you get into the zone, kind of like that movie Soul, how he starts playing some stuff on the piano and then he goes into the zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is, for me. And I don't, some people might think, oh, you're always on edge, or you're always like trying to, or something like that. Like you're never just relaxing, but it is relaxing to me. So it's fine. I don't have any problem with maybe it is making me tired, like learning another language. It is a lot of effort. It's not, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie about that, but it's not something that I'm annoyed by. I actually enjoy doing it.
It's really good for you. It was good for me. I learned a lot of Japanese just because I wanted to. I mean, there's no use for it now, but hardly, but I don't know, maybe in the future.
Well, you know, you got some friends and stuff, and it's fun to be able to speak to them, you know,
Yeah,
say some
yeah,
stuff and
I
have a
love
good
it.
time. Yeah.
Aunt Chris, it's kind of funny. She calls me a hummingbird. She goes, "You never sit down more than a few minutes." And I go, "Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is I probably weigh a lot more than I do if I just sat in one place. But that I think mentally in the back there somewhere, that's part of it. I just want to keep moving. I want to be able to physically do what Tess did. I may not live to be 108, but I wouldn't mind living to be 108 if I was like
And
her,
enjoying it too. You know,
enjoying it, benefiting people, doing things for others. I would be happy. So,
you know what? Let's take that back to the past though. Okay, since you're talking about learning Japanese, right?
yeah.
All right, so let's think about that. Back when I was younger, you learned a lot of different phrases. Let's go over some phrases that you learned
Okay.
just because it's fun.
Well, I could introduce myself.
Okay, so introduce yourself.
私の名前はフィリスです。
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hajimemashite, dozu yoroshiku.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's very much.
I have such a thick accent, but yeah, that's I
Uh,
did that real quick.
お尻かわいい.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what OCD quite wait, say that?
And the Japanese are like, why did she say, what is it?
I
Oh,
have a
you have a
cute
cute
butt.
butt.
You said I have a cute butt.
Yeah.
But not you have a cute butt, right? You say watashi no my
OCD.
well,
Kawaii.
not, oh, say that
More
again.
like hip. They don't say butt.
Oh, they don't?
Uh,
Sure they don't.
Probably can't say it on there, but you remember what Matthew used to sing?
Oh, the ching ching buru buru sausage.
When I tell people what that means, they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, somebody made like some kind of because Matt kept saying it at church, like at Scouts, that some of the older kids made up a full rhyme that goes along with that, like a second,
Really?
but it was all in English. I don't remember what it was.
Kyle.
Yeah, uso. Yeah, you could ask Matt. He might remember that. I don't know. Or maybe Mark. But I
Yeah.
remember some of the other kids saying that. And they're like, yeah, we know what that is. And I'm like, how do you know? And then I'm like, oh, because Matt and Mark probably told them.
Yeah.
How else would they have known? You
Well,
know?
right for Mark, but do you remember Mark saying, oh, I don't know if you do or not, but you guys had gone to Debbie and Linda's
Hmm.
for a few days or whatever. And Mark kept on saying, in America, we can go to the store on Sunday. In America.
Yeah.
And then one time he goes, Mom,
They were like, oh my
this is
gosh.
good taste.
It has good
You know,
taste.
my kids are Japanese.
He's like, it has good taste.
It's a good taste.
Oh, that's so sad.
So funny.
Yeah.
Like you grew up in a kimono.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Uh,
Oh, thinking back about some other things when I was young about the house.
Yeah.
The only house that I really remember, I remember going to the Fillmore house afterwards.
yeah.
You know, when renters would turn over or
You're only
something.
2 when we left there.
Yeah,
No,
so it's pretty young. Yeah.
you might have been younger than, I think you were like a year.
Oh, really?
A year, and it was December, so from
So it's kind of like Josh being in the Vancouvering house. He just doesn't remember any because he was pretty young like that too, right?
Aaron was,
No, not Aaron. Josh.
oh yeah, he was 13 months when we moved here.
Yeah, so the same kind of thing. He was
Yeah.
just too young to remember, but yeah, the Vancouvering house. I remember certain things that I really liked about it. I liked where the fireplace had sat.
That was cool.
We'd always put stuff up in it, and it was raised up.
Yeah.
a little bit. I like the fact that it was raised up. It was something you could sit on and get next to, and and we'd have decorations around there for Halloween and Christmas and
Yeah.
stuff, and then our big old TV, big
Yeah.
old box TV and stuff. And then we had little TVs in our bedrooms that when the screen would mess up, we'd smack it to turn green and then go back to normal again. That what are they, Emerson
Crazy.
TV?
Everybody had TVs in their rooms.
Yeah, yeah. But I just remember that. And then we had our like tape slash CD player over there in the corner.
Mhm.
We'd have like the the pull out where we'd have all of our CDs in there, and we'd have like another pull out for tapes.
Yeah.
And
That house was situated just like the house when I was little. The one that caught on fire on Upland
really,
Avenue in Fontana when I was 9. It was exactly, you went through the front door, to the left was the kitchen, kind of a little area, dining room.
was it built around the
And
same
then
time?
the 3 bedrooms were over there. Huh?
Was it built around the same time, like in the
I think
70s
so.
or
I
something?
think so.
Because you were so you were a little girl in the 60s because you're born in 59, right?
Right.
And then it like in your what teenage years or early teenage years to teenage years throughout through the 70s, up until high school or something.
Yeah, we lived in Fontana until.
But they built some other houses like that then
Oh yeah, yeah.
earlier. Okay.
Yeah, I would assume that it was pretty about the same time, I think.
Maybe that's why you guys bought that house, huh? Reminded you
No,
of
no, we
no?
bought it for the pool. And the kitchen
Oh, okay.
was beautiful. I
What's
liked
that?
it on Vancouver, and I loved the kitchen.
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah, it was huge, and yeah.
Or at least in my memory it was,
And the
because
backyard was nice. The pool was wonderful. We had
the best thing
barbecues.
about that kitchen was
Huh?
the linoleum floor in there.
So
No,
cool. It had peach in it, and yeah, it was awesome. But
it was
we
a
had
linoleum
barbecues.
floor.
You remember that? Every summertime, we always ate in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like the chairs in the back and stuff that you could
Yeah.
sunbathe on, and
Whatever, we're gonna eat in the backyard. Okay.
we'd jump off the awning or the shade area
Roof.
and stuff in the
I
pool
hear.
all the time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised none of us missed or something happened that was worse,
Yeah.
because we'd also like do stuff like a handstand off of the diving board and then drop in, or do like Cheney would do a double front flip or double back flip off the diving board. You know that? Because he already knew how to do backflips just from standing. What's that?
No.
That,
I knew they
that
were.
diving board was so springy.
It was.
It was amazing, and you
And I
couldn't
think the
buy it.
pool was like 9.5 feet deep, something like that.
Yeah, so you could dive off of that
Yeah.
without having any problem. It's shaped like a kidney bean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a cool pool. I loved it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
But
That's
yeah,
the only thing I missed about Rialto.
what's that?
The only
Oh,
thing.
the house. Yeah, it was.
I
It
always
was.
told your dad I never felt at home. I feel like I'm not in my own home. I don't feel. I did love certain things about it, but when we moved to Caballeros, I go, this is it. I feel home. I feel like I'm home now.
Oh, because the neighborhood and everything.
Yeah. It was just it's more spread out. It's not right on top of each other.
Not me. I was used to the ghetto. That was the only thing I knew. Like I came over here. I'm like, this is weird. This is a different culture over here.
Yeah.
Everybody
Bunch of
has
rednecks,
dirt bikes and horses and stuff.
goat ropers.
Yeah, huh? But also too, I thought I I remember I think we turned over that garage a couple of times. We changed how it was. Like wasn't the original door in the front one of those that flipped up? And then the door in the back was like a barn style, or did it slide or did it open up like this? I can't remember. That's how Sean stole a bunch of our stuff, because he knew that we always kept that unlocked,
Yeah.
that back door. But then after a while, then Matt and Dad built the bedroom out there. So then there was a sliding glass door, and then there was also another door. And then in the front, I think you guys did you guys, I think you installed an actual like not roll up. I guess it's kind of not a roll up door, but an electric
Yeah, yeah.
garage door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
I remember before that though.
We had a Halloween party in there once. You were little. Your
Mhm.
dad was Little Bo Peep and I was the sheep.
In that
that house. Yeah.
oh really?
And we invited people over and there was no alcohol. And everybody was like, this is the funnest party we've ever been to. And I made like a spook alley in there and in the garage because there was nothing in there at the time. It was really fun.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
once all the tools and materials went in there, then there's
Yeah.
like
And then I remember
shimmer.
Dennis dressed as a pirate and Tammy dressed as a princess, and he was making her walk the plank off the diving board. It was so much fun. I have pictures.
That's funny.
I have proof.
What's that?
I have proof. I have pictures.
That in the yard in the front and the back, well, especially in the back, was pretty big.
It was huge.
It was huge yard. Like
Yeah.
we were able to do also like we practice. A lot of times we would practice. We'd play like football or soccer or whatever in the front, but we could play in the back too.
Oh yeah.
And then we'd also do paintballing in the back. And I remember we had these cheap masks that like if it hit your face, it would slap your face anyway, and so it still hurt. And then it would like had these vents, so like paint would still go on your face, and then it didn't protect your head. So I remember like poking my head up from behind the tree in the backyard, and Mark hitting and skimming my head, and it like bounced off, and it hurt so bad. Oh man.
One of the things I remember about when I started working for the blood bank and Mark was helping watch you, where were you, 10 or 11?
Yeah.
Oh, you were 9 because I worked there for like 2 years and just before or when Aaron was born, I quit. So that around 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark would say, I didn't hit him. I picked him up and I took him outside and set him on the lawn, and then he'd lock all the doors because you'd make him mad. And
he that was the literal definition of being thrown out of your house. He'd pick me up and throw me out onto the front lawn and run as quick as he could back in there, because I would get back up and try to run and like beat him in there. I remember yelling and screaming and crying and hitting him and trying to like pick up objects around the house and try to swing it at him and stuff. And he's like, "You're getting crazy, Jared." I remember that. That was kind of getting crazy. But here's the funny thing too, is that I knew how to break into the house even if you locked everything, because that
my bathroom window,
your bathroom window and the guest their hallway bathroom.
Okay.
The windows were those old wooden windows.
Yeah.
And the little lever, somehow if I shook it enough, just ever so slightly, I could shake it loose and then open it up and I would crawl inside. And then there was a couple times where I'd like lock the door from the inside of the bathroom, so he knew I was in there, and he's like, "Oh, now you got I don't be inside the house and stuff." And I would like try to get the telephone.
And he said, I didn't hurt him, but I set him on the front lawn and ran in the house.
I would, because you had a telephone in your bedroom, and I would, if he didn't know that I got in through whatever bedroom or whatever bathroom window, I would try to sneak over into your bedroom, lock it, so that way he can, and then lock your sliding door, and then call you up on the phone so he could talk.
You couldn't call me. I didn't have a cell phone. You'd page me.
Oh, is that what it was? I paid you?
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I paged you?
Yeah.
But I thought I was able to, like, I thought I somehow got a hold of, I didn't get a hold of the phone that at the place that you're working, or the mobile.
You could have, maybe at the blood bank, but I just remember that one time when you cut your hand really bad, they paged me. I was going out to lunch with Tammy, after work, because we were starving. We probably started work at 3:00 in the morning, and I got a page, and it's like, oh no, I gotta go, so that you had to have stitches in your hand.
Yep. Yeah, I remember those stitches right there.
I think one of my favorite holidays with you guys, though, um, probably still is Halloween, because I love dressing you guys up. And I just remember you guys going, "Can we not go one more block?" I'm like, "No, it's fun. Let's stay
We
all
had pillow sacks
full."
filled to the brim. That is so bad. I can't believe you did that to us.
It was more the adventure than
We actually had so much candy that like we would find candy, like we'd rearrange our room and there'd be like a pile of candy underneath the dresser.
yeah.
And
It's
stuff
like
that.
I
Somehow,
might have thrown out part of it away, but you remember what your dad would always do?
what?
He'd always get first pick.
Oh yeah, yeah, the daddy tax.
Yeah, yeah. He'd come
You
back.
always go and steal all the.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, exactly. There was something else though that Mark and I did that was there's a few things that we did that I remember. One was you'd be on the phone with whoever, could have been work or whatever, and we'd
most
be on the other side of your water bed, like with our heads like just kind of like, hey mom, hey, can we go to Disneyland? And
I'd
then
be
you'd be like,
going.
and you'd be like, yeah, on the phone, and they're like, oh,
I remember that.
can we go tomorrow? Yes. Uh-huh. Because you're like, yeah, uh-huh.
You remember running around trying to get you with the phone, like,
Can I have $20? Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Can I have $50?
I do remember that.
Okay. And then there's other things too that we would do, like I just remember this, like specifically the bedroom area, like it in the on the water bed. You know, I remember always trying to sneak up on your guys' water bed like at nighttime so I could sleep because like, cuddle with mom, and plus the water bed was fun to be on, you know.
Yeah.
But there was other things too, like we'd be hanging out with you on the water bed like during the daytime, and then like just telling you jokes or something, or doing like the little weird things with our toes, like the
Yeah.
kung fu toes or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Or a couple of things too with Mark, for high school when we're still living over there, he would wake me up by shaking me like, Jared, wake up, like that.
I know. Jared, wake up. You're like,
Yeah, like a heart attack every morning.
I
And then,
remember trying. You remember when you'd go in and, Mom, can I sleep in here? And your dad's always like, no, go away.
yeah,
And
that's like me with
so
my kids. I'm
you
like,
go in
ah,
there
get
to
out of
Mark's
here,
room,
leave
and
us alone."
he'd go, if you give me a quarter, you can lay on the floor.
Which was worse because I was like next to his bed and I could see under the bed, but it was all dark, and so I'd
You give
imagine,
him a quarter, and you could lay on the floor next to him.
yeah, that's so messed up. Mark, if you're watching this video, that was mean.
Really
It
me.
was very mean. Mark did mean
Actually,
things.
he's like, no, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah, well, there was that, the waking me up like that.
Oh,
There
him
was
doing
the hair thing that he would do.
hair thing.
Yeah, he'd part his hair.
Mom, you got to see this. You got to see this. And
Yeah.
Mark would come out and go, what?
What?
Okay, perfect. I remember one time he was watching you though. It was so funny. And oh, you said that you sang every word else song to him.
Oh yeah, he'd have me singing him to sleep.
And I go to, did you sing Girls Just Want to Have Fun? And you go, yes. And I go, did you do that? Just Ollie Willie Wah. And you go, yeah, I had to sing that too.
I think he would even have me tell him stories, just stuff about things that had happened at school or whatever, and then he would like fall asleep during the
It was so
story.
funny. I'm like,
Like,
oh my.
Mark? Oh, I guess he's asleep. Okay, go to sleep too. It's so weird. It's funny though.
Oh, when we get to Mark's part, I'll tell you that was so funny. Some of the things I had with each one of you, they're the little things, was
Yeah.
Mark didn't like me looking at him. So I'd act like a bird. Like, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, out of the side of your
I'm a
eye.
bird. You guys had your stuff. My favorite thing with you two, though, was the Chris Farley thing, where you hike up your
Oh,
pants and You're gonna live in a van down by the river. You're gonna mount a jack
See the
squat.
thing? Yeah. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be Christmas morning, and you're gonna come downstairs to see underneath the Christmas tree is gonna be piled. What do you say?
Something.
Yeah, to the brim with a jack squat. And you do the
You guys
yeah,
did that at Disneyland once. We were at Disneyland. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys were way too funny.
yeah. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of good memories
It's been
there
a fun
too.
ride.
Now we can't go there hardly ever because it's so expensive.
It is.
I
Sometimes,
guess I can afford to go there, but
yeah, sometimes you just have to.
we're gonna have to. I think Ray's already planned on possibly like a Disney World trip, actually.
We all need to do that.
Yeah, we should do that. And then there's some other ones too that, hey, we haven't been to anywhere in Europe and stuff, and we should do that before the kids are gone.
Or they don't want to go with you.
Yeah, or they get too busy, they have their own families, and then they can't go.
That's what I'm saying. By the time they get to the point where, like now, getting you guys all together takes, your dad's like, you work really hard at it. I go, I do. And there's a reason for that because
Yeah, well, it's hard. It's hard because we all got stuff going on, and you're right.
you
Yeah,
guys still do. We still work it out, or at least you can get
yeah.
together a couple times a year. But
Well, you put together all the San Clemente stuff and
yeah,
Arrowhead stuff, and those ones we can still make it to a day or two. But back when I was a kid, like, yeah, I'm staying here the whole week. And now it's
yeah,
like, oh, I got like a day and a half maybe to tops. It's
I'm
kind of
grateful for whatever I get.
what's
But
that?
I'm grateful for whatever I can get,
We
But
ought to we ought to do like a
one of the
Mexico
reasons
trip
why I do it
too.
is
I never make the Mexico trips.
I want you guys to have the eternal perspective of these are my brothers. These are the people I can rely on. These are the guys that I love and I grew up with, and if you have that perspective, then I just think it'll help you guys. If I'm gone, one time your dad goes, they probably won't ever see each other, and I go, don't say that. They need to.
I don't think so. I don't think maybe, but I don't think so because you know how I am.
Yeah,
So, like, I think a lot of us already don't mind hanging out with each other and talking. Like Aaron. I mean, I got some stuff that I want to do, but Aaron was mentioning, hey, let's play whatever on the phone.
yeah,
Maybe Catan or something like that. And a lot of the brothers will do that and stuff. And I was doing that too for a while, but right now I got some stuff that I want to get done. But for a while I was, trying to get everybody to learn some stuff about stock investing. And it wasn't until I was doing that for like 2 or 3 years now. And it wasn't until basically the beginning of this year that once I figured out a certain way that I want to do it, that I haven't really been bugging anybody because now I feel comfortable with doing it very passively, that I don't have to spend a lot of time on doing it. But now my new thing is learning Spanish, and I'm thinking, whoever, I'm trying not to get into people's business about it, but whoever I think is at least mildly interested in, I want to encourage them to do it because then we can spend some time practicing it. That's the way you're going to learn it better than anything else. Like if I'm trying to learn it by myself and I never get to talk to Josh and I occasionally talk to people at work, but let's say Ezra, Garrison, Ray, a lot of the people that I'm coaching soccer, most of the people don't speak Spanish, especially the kids or whatever. Everybody else hardly speaks Spanish, especially out here in Marietta or in the Inland Empire who we talk to. I ain't gonna learn Spanish. It's gonna be really hard. But if other people do speak enough of it with me, then they're gonna learn from me and I'm gonna learn from them. That's how you learn it,
yeah.
You immerse yourself into it
And
somewhere.
that's the problem with me with Japanese is that who do I speak to?
Yeah, there's nobody. There's only a couple people. And if they're busy, you can't learn it. And like Josh, you know, he's getting pretty busy himself with school and the baby and all that stuff. And occasionally he'll talk with me, but we'll definitely text each other, which is cool. But that doesn't help my listening comprehension, right? And that doesn't help my conversational portion of it. And my form, and he doesn't. Anyway, that's an aside there. But the
Yeah.
thing is I think you've done enough to keep us together as well. But I have that. I think I get that from you, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The whole like, hey, I want to keep everybody together. I really enjoy being with everybody, and I think about that kind of stuff. And you did too. You do.
I do.
That's why you
My
still
mom
get your
did.
brothers and sisters. Yeah, exactly.
And
There's always got to be one or two that just love other people and their families so much that they're constantly trying to get each other together.
you know, and I think what we have, honestly, what I think we have is very special because, you know, how many people don't love their siblings? And I go, you don't love your siblings? What?
It's weird. Yeah.
You know, I don't love my mom and dad. I hate my mom and dad. I'm like, you hate your mom and dad? I didn't even, honestly, I didn't know that until high school. That
Oh, yeah.
the kids would go, I know,
But
I
even
prefer to talk
adults
to my mom
though,
again.
like even like, let's say somebody your age, they normally wouldn't say that though, right?
They do.
That is weird.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, I do understand it if they're in certain cases,
You
but
know, as much as I hate you guys, I still love you.
I still love you.
No,
Don't
but
ever say it,
seriously
Dan.
though, like you know, I look at the past and I think, you know, I'm like, man, that was hard, or man, I didn't like that at that time. Whether it was something that you were doing or something that dad was doing or something, and I didn't understand it, and I'm like, man, that was not cool of me to do that to you guys when I'm, you know, as an adult, especially having kids too. But but more so, I just think about how much I respect you guys more and more. But also too, my grandparents. Like, you know, I was like talking to I didn't, you know, unfortunately, I feel like I didn't know them as well as I really should have. I really, you know, I feel really bad about that actually. Even Grandma Shirley, she's still around, and I'm, you know, and I've tried spending some time with her, but she's all the way over there, and it's really hard to get over there
Yeah.
and to spend time with her. But the thing is I do try sometimes, but like, you know, Grandpa Underwood, when he was telling me some stuff about, you know, his past and stuff, and then I started thinking about some stuff. Like he was trying to teach me about something about bikes, and I was so, you know, I don't know if this is the right word, but like illiterate when it comes to hands-on mechanical things. It's like mechanically averse, you know.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about the bearings in a bike in the wheel, and I was like, they don't all have bearings, do they? I don't think so. This bike doesn't have bearings. I'm like, oh man, looking back, I'm like, that's embarrassing. You know, like, of course they do. But the thing is when I was talking to him about stuff, about fixing things, he would actually show me how to fix stuff, but he was all gruff about it the whole time, like, all right, stupid, you don't know this stuff. You know, he didn't say it exactly that way, but I got that vibe the whole time. I'm like, dang, this. So, um, thinking about it later, being a lineman, for some reason, I was talking to one of my lineman buddies from Arkansas. He's younger than me, but I was saying something, you know, I go, I sure hope that both my grandpas are proud of like I wish they could see me. That's what I said. I wish they could see me doing what I'm doing. For some reason, I don't know why I said that. It was
Mhm.
just a thought, like a feeling I had at the time. And he's like, you know, I think they're proud of you. I guarantee they're seeing you right now and they're pretty proud of you. Nope.
Aw.
You know, and I thought about that, and it meant something to me. You know, I was like, that's you know, just knowing that I care about, not just care about other people, but I care about doing a good job at work. I care about making something better, not just of myself, but of society. I care about other people, and I think it would, and you know, the physical aspect that I'm hard at work. I'm doing things that I think is right, you know, in a physical way. I just think it's kind of good to know, or good to it's a nice thought anyway, knowing it or not knowing it, but at least feeling like they are proud of me.
No, grandma and grandpa definitely were. While you were gone, they hung on every word. If I talked about you and that, they adored you because they knew your heart was in the right place. When you left, you were so good to them, and you spent a lot of time with them. They really appreciated it. Uh, and
I
then
sure.
do you remember when you were on your mission? Um, I had found a card that they had sent to you, maybe not on your mission. No, I don't think it was, but it was a card that they given you, and they always gave you $20, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I sent it to you on your mission, and I put a 20 in there for mom and dad. And mom was already gone, but you
Mm,
got your money from them. I'm like, I thought that was appropriate.
yeah.
They just loved you. You did good. You got her ready.
I
You
do
got her
miss
ready
him.
to go over to the other side.
I do miss him.
Yeah, me too.
So this is something, okay, a lot of what we're talking about is even just, stuff that's going on right now too, not just in the past, but something, so this is kind of outside of you being 25 to 36, but something else that I was thinking of is after my mission, I remember going through the closet downstairs, and you guys had a filing cabinet in there, big metal, heavy metal.
It's in the garage now.
Yeah, and I remember going through it, and there's a bunch of clutter of paper and just random stuff in there, kind of like a junk drawer kind of thing. But and then I pulled out a few copies of one poem that she had written. I think, if I remember, it was "If You Can," right?
My favorite poem.
And I remember when I was reading it, I felt her hug me, and it was weird because it was like she was physically there. Like, I feel that love.
I have to.
It is so, you can't explain that.
She
And in,
actually kissed me once because I was in so much pain, and I know that it's a privilege, not a right. That Heavenly Father, if I wasn't in the right place at the right time, if you weren't in the right place at the right time, you would have never noticed. But she was allowed to, and she was allowed to send me a song because I was like, Mom, you said you never leave me. And it's a song by Billy Joel, Lullaby. You know,
mhm.
I think that it's a privilege, and I feel her every day. And sometimes I get upset because she's gone, because uh, I think that the mother's love is the closest. I mean, the closest I could feel to Heavenly Father's love because I love you unconditionally. No matter what happens, no matter what we go through, it's unconditional love. And when you were saying it's like somebody would take a bullet for me, oh, absolutely, without a doubt. You know how it feels with your children.
That's true. There's many times when I was in Colorado, well, really anywhere. It didn't really matter, even if I was still with the kids. But when I was young, I might have nightmares of, I don't know, clowns or something weird, right?
Yeah,
Some scary movie that I watched. But as an adult, as a dad, you don't understand how much you're going to love this human being until they're born. And immediately there's that love that you have for them that you can't describe. Nobody understands it unless they have it. And of course they got to be in the right place too. I'd imagine if I was doing drugs or something like that, I would still have some feeling for them, but it would be all foggy or distorted or something like
yeah,
that. But as a dad, you know, having kids, or same thing with Ray too. Like, it was like night and day. Like, as soon as Ezra was born, she's like, "Oh, that's mine, give him to me," and
yeah,
it was just it was just amazing, the reaction she had when she saw Ezra, just pure love for him. And so, going back to these nightmares and stuff, when I was in Colorado, it was really scary. I would have these nightmares of an active shooter or something like that at their school.
Yeah.
And I could see like from an aerial view of what was happening and where he was at and where these other kids were trying to get into classrooms and where this shooter was at trying to find kids to shoot. And it was so scary because I couldn't do anything.
Paralyzing.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing because it's amazing. I don't know if it's amazing, but it's interesting, or at least to say that automatically happens. It's not something that you choose. It's not just, it lets you know how much parents care for and love their children immediately. You can't describe that to somebody that doesn't have kids yet or anything.
Yeah.
But that being said, it lets you know that there's some kind of bond or some kind of tie with family, with brothers and sisters, with grandparents and parents, with your children and your grandchildren. Because I mean, when this life is done, I sure hope that I can see all y'all again. Like that I get to give everybody hugs and kisses and say, I'm so glad to see you, and I hope that I made y'all proud. And
Yeah.
I
You ever
really
gone to a church meeting and you see people that maybe you haven't seen for a while, and you go up and hug them, and you see people that like maybe from an old ward or whatever. It's happened to me. And I go, this is what I imagine heaven being like. You're going up and you're hugging
reunion.
your loved ones and your friends, and oh, you're here. What a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's going to be like that. I'm certain before grandma passed away, she goes, Bunny, I don't want you to think I'm hallucinating or whatever, but she said, I'm seeing my mom and my sister like a lot.
That's
And
what grandma said?
they were getting her ready. They were
Wow.
even passed away. She goes, I'm seeing them. I go, I believe you, Mom, you know, and
That's crazy.
she said, Bunny, it's not going to be much more time. I'm having strokes. I'm a nurse. I know what's happening. And so, but she was getting ready and they were helping her.
That's crazy.
And I did want to say a couple things about when you were being born. Uh, you will, as you do, I remember all of your births so clearly, like it was
And I
yesterday.
was the easiest.
No, you're
Oh,
the hardest.
oh,
You're
okay.
welcome.
I was worth it, is what you meant to say. I was worth it.
I remember there was a show called My Three Sons.
Uh-huh.
Remember, you're the third one. So as I was going to the hospital, just before I went, let's back up. I called Tammy. I go, I think my water broke. She goes, go to the hospital. So I talked to her. I talked to Aunt Chris. I said, I go into the hospital. We didn't know what you were going to be. We could have peaked, but it was so soon. We didn't want to do an ultrasound because I didn't know anything about it.
Because
So
it's so new technology.
just new technology. I didn't know if it was going to hurt you, but there was a show called My Three Sons. I don't know if you've ever seen it or on old time TV or whatever, but the theme song was da 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 da. So Aunt Chris, just before I left for the hospital, was singing that to me. I'm like, shut up, it could be a girl. And then when I got there, I was in labor all night because you were trying to be born sunny side up. It wasn't working.
Sunny
And
side.
my mom came in the morning and said, did you try turning her on her side? And the nurse was like, no. So they turned me on my side. Actually, the doctor came in and said, we'll probably have to do a C-section. And I go, no, I don't want a C-section. So mom coming in there and saying, turn her on her side. About 10 minutes later, you were born. She should have came that night because I would have been, but anyway, you're the most difficult.
You know what? Since you said, since you imitated the nurses that way, you should tell the rabbit and the bear joke.
My all-time favorite joke.
Yeah, because that's exactly how it sounded.
Bear, the rabbit in the woods. The bear goes, you have trouble getting poop off of your fur? To the rabbit. And the rabbit goes, no. And he goes, good. And he wipes with him.
It's so sad. What's sad is that it's still funny right now.
That's
As
funny.
you're telling me that. I think it's the way that you say it though.
No.
Okay.
The other one is the cow. Knock knock.
Oh, who's there?
Uh, interruptive cow.
The interrupted cow.
No. No, your
What were
cow.
some of the pins that you had? You had all these like pins and magnets and stuff on the refrigerator.
What
And
if the
people,
whole world farted at once?
yeah, and everybody, it was such a good conversation starter. Like people,
Or I had one that says, if you're smoking in my house, you better be on fire.
yeah. There's there's also that pin that you had that said Santa's back. It was a
Yeah,
picture-
it was Santa's back.
yeah, just his back. Uh, I don't know. I just remember like little, little things like that. Some random things.
What do you remember as wearing like Halloween? What do you remember wearing?
You know what? I don't. Well, I remember seeing pictures of what I wore.
Like Charlie Chaplin, and I'm sure once.
Did I do Charlie Chaplin or was that
Maybe.
Matt?
You were a pirate for sure.
Because I was gonna say I remember there was one where Matt was like Charlie Chaplin,
Oh yeah.
Mark was the pirate, and then I was like, I don't know, a little bear or bunny or something. I can't even remember what I was.
Everybody, something fluffy. I don't know.
Yeah, something-
But I never put the
Something
plastic
cute.
costume on you guys.
What's that?
I never put the plastic pre-made costumes because I
Oh, the face thing. Those
Yeah.
things were terrible anyway. They'd have like a string that would snap off halfway through the night, and
yeah. What? You look so cute. No.
yeah. By the way, speaking of births and stuff like that, I think starting with me, I was supposed to be a girl, then Aaron, then Josh, and it just never happened.
Never happened. I'm so
Right?
great.
I was the first one that was supposed to be a girl, right? And then it just
I but I knew Aaron and Josh were going to be boys because I
you
know
saw-
the ultrasounds. Yeah.
yeah. They're like, well, try again.
Grateful.
Try again next time.
I always tell everybody God loves me. He didn't give me girls.
Oh yeah.
Proof positive. Oh, but I think one of my happiest memories is when you were a teenager, when we went to Portugal.
That was fun.
That was so much fun. I had earned those trips.
What did we have there? We had Dad was there, you were there,
Mark and Matt.
Mark and Matt. What about Aaron and
What
Josh?
was Matt saying out the window to the?
Oh man. Should I tell why he was saying it or just
No,
what?
just say what?
He was saying obrigado, which means I'm sorry in Portuguese. I think I can't remember, but he was yelling at. But no, what he was saying actually is he was yelling at the taxis. He's like, taxi!
And they would stop.
He would stop and then he'd
then
say
he'd laugh.
obrigado, like that.
You can
They were
cut it
like,
out, but you were-
okay, and then they're just. I don't know what their reactions were, but those
that
a
was
little
pretty
interesting.
funny.
Was it? It wasn't there though that we went to. It had to have been there
Yeah,
where we went to France for. Like
Yeah,
there
we
was like
walked into France.
we walked into France
Yeah,
and it
we
was
got lost on purpose. You remember that?
yeah we've done a few of those.
And then Matt and the powers going, I fart in your general direction.
Yeah, doing the whole Monty Python thing.
Yeah, they did the whole Monty Python thing.
So that was there,
Yeah.
and that was then it was you, me, and Matt that got lost on purpose, or was that in another country?
I'm trying. You know what? We'll have to look at the picture.
That was
I know Mark
Switzerland.
went with us.
That was Switzerland. That it
Portugal,
was you, me, and Matt. We were there.
Oh,
Mark
Switzerland.
wasn't there, and Dad wasn't there. It was just us three.
Oh, it was Switzerland.
Yeah, and we were like, "Oh man, did we cross this river?" And then there was like a debate about that for a while, and then we wound up crossing back, and then we went into some neighborhoods. We weren't
Yeah,
in the
did
city.
you remember the kids that had lit candles and they were walking? It was some kind of ceremony or something.
Yeah, they're all dressed up, and they're, you
Yeah.
know,
That was cool.
that was really cool. Like in their church
Yeah.
outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's probably something very
But
common.
I had the bright idea to get lost.
Like,
I've gotten lost in every country on purpose.
yeah, yeah. It's probably something very simple, like a very common Catholic ceremony that we
And
just
probably we're like, ooh.
ooh, what's this? We were walking down the sidewalk, and it was just everything in Switzerland was so peaceful, comfy, cozy, safe,
It's beautiful.
and beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Probably the best country that I've ever been to. I
Yeah.
want to go back. I really do.
Well, you haven't been to Italy yet.
I have.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? That's when I went with Aunt Chris and
Oh, yeah.
Sherry.
Well, you haven't been with me.
You know,
Um,
that's another one that I feel sad about too.
yeah.
Sherry.
Yeah.
I miss her. She was like so much fun and just cute personality and
That's
cute,
adorable.
just cute in general.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was so much fun.
It was so good for Sis.
Yeah, she was like such a good friend, family.
Yeah.
It's just
But you know what? People, I think the judge,
I'm gonna give her a
the
big
judge
hug.
said it best.
Next time I see her, I'm gonna give her a big hug because
Oh, you're not going to kick her butt? Okay.
No, I love the crap out of her. She's
I
so
think that the Winona Judd, Ashley Judd, said it best. My mother died of mental illness, and Sherry had some issues, So
I guess I don't remember that part of her, but yes,
I don't either.
obviously, but it's just I miss her. She was a lot of fun. And I only hung out with her a couple times or so, but I felt that familial connection, like she was family. She was just because we stopped in New York, I think on the way there and back or something, but we hung out for a day or two each time or something, and so we were hanging out. I mean, she was so much fun.
Do you remember her doing the diarrhea songs with us?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're doing that.
And she was like, she'd make up her own, and she'd go cha 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 every time, cha cha cha.
Or the do.
Yeah, that we were like, okay.
Yeah, and Aunt Chris was coming up with some funny ones too.
Walking down the hall, feel something fall, diarrhea.
Yeah, and Chris's one was like, when you thought it was just a fart, but it blows your cheeks apart. Yeah, I think we're driving.
I would ruin a girl. That's why I didn't have one.
Oh yeah.
Because I'd be like, doing the fart noises underneath my arm. Your dad would walk in, and I'd be watching a movie with you guys, and all of us were rolling around, screaming, laughing, rolling around on the floor, and your dad's like, "Oh, get it," and we're like, laugh harder.
So weird.
Yeah, definitely boy movies like See Spot Run, My Dog Spot. I can never get it right.
Well, because I think it's See Spot Run. I think you actually got it right this time.
Okay.
But I think I'm probably wrong because I don't remember anymore.
My Dog Spot.
I think once you've had kids for a sufficient amount of time, all these things don't matter anymore, and you just forget everything.
Well, when your boys are over, sometime we'll have to watch it together.
Yeah. Oh, so all right. So a couple other things. How did I break my arm and my thumb? I broke my arm once, and I also broke my
swing.
No.
I thought you said that was
Mark broke his arms on the swing.
And Matt broke his arm on a merry-go-round.
I broke one of my arms on rollerblades, and then I broke my thumb on a rollerblade, and it was going to take longer to heal, apparently. Well, that's what the doctor said. He goes, that's actually one of the longest. That bone, for some reason, takes longer to heal, probably because you can move it around. I don't know what the deal is, but or is more of like a punishment for saying, hey, you already got a broken arm. You know.
Gonna make this really last.
Yeah, I can tell you what though, I'm surprised that I did not kill myself out of all the crazy things that I was doing as a kid, like climbing some of those rocks over in Valley of Fire without a rope or something. And there's just too many crazy situations that I remember telling Ray about this stuff. And she's like, oh my gosh, like we got to make sure that we keep our kids safer than what you did, like
They,
as grown up,
oh,
because
come on, you're free range.
yeah, as a
Like
free range chicken, I could flap my face and stuff.
free range kids.
You know that, like, you know, one of those times, this was the story that Cheney and I were climbing with no rope system or whatever up, and we were probably a good 60 feet up, easily 50, 60 feet up. And we were just grabbing onto the little dimples in the rocks. And you know, the red rocks all like clay, sandstone kind of thing. So it's slippery. And he winds up slipping. He was like a couple feet above me, and he slipped and he stopped an inch above my fingers, maybe a couple inches above my fingers. And I go, oh my gosh, like we almost both went down. And he's like, well, he's like, we got to go back down. And I go, I don't think we can go back down the way we came up. It's too scary. I can't move anywhere. We're like, well, we saw this rock that was kind of slanted like this, but there was like a good 3 or 4 foot gap between where we're at and that. And he's like, maybe we can scale sideways and jump over there. And I'm like, sure, whatever. We're gonna do that instead of. So he goes and he just jumps with all his might, like a Spider-Man kind of thing. He gets over there, and I'm like, I can't do it from where I'm at. He's like, you got to climb up and then jump over. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I do it, and we get over, but we couldn't get back down at all the same way we came up. So we went a different way around and down to the front side where you guys were doing the Thanksgiving picnic thing or dinner. And everybody could see us coming down that way, and they knew that we couldn't get down from where we're at. So we wound up walking on Matt and Cody's and I think this is what I remember anyway, Matt, Cody's, and Dad and somebody else's hands to get down. They were like standing in weird angles to like balance themselves and get us down. It was pretty crazy. But there was like a bunch of situations like that. I'm like, man, I'm surprised I didn't die. And it's all because of your bad parenting.
Yeah, but you did something.
What's that?
You learn something, you know.
You definitely learned something, you know.
You know what?
It was fun.
Watch this one movie. It's called Fall. I'd like to watch it with you, actually. We just saw it, and everybody's like the whole time.
Yeah. It's not a documentary. Is it a documentary kind of movie or
no? But you'll relate with it, trust me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But the thing is that there were so many things that we did. Like first off, like the Valley of Fire, you would take us there every year, you know, and we would go there, and that was such good fun memories going there.
Yeah.
And then learning about some of the history, and I didn't realize that my grandpa grew up there and till later, and you know, things like that. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. And then finding out who was related to who, and that I kind of figured out later, but it was just so much fun going to the farm there, going to the Red Rocks and in the Valley of Fire and stuff, and you know, going to that movie theater that only had one.
Screen.
You know, just it like you go out of this world, out of this time,
and it was all family.
You go back in time when you go there. It was so cool. Just, you know, we got to go there again for sure. That's
if you guys want to go this year, we can. I know Ray said she was willing to go, so.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we will work it out.
For sure.
And you can stay at Judy's house.
Yeah, they got a nice house.
The funnest part is because we get to stay over there and have fun there.
I don't know if she's been there yet. She's
You'd
not.
love it.
I don't know if she's been there yet. I told her about it. Yeah, it's such a cool house. I've been there twice now, once or twice.
Yeah,
it's so cool that they built that.
Yeah, and now she has. Matt hates to hear this, but they have a she shed. They made a she shed for her instead of a man cave, and it looks like a little beach cottage, and they put artificial turf around it. It's super cute.
Especially being out there in the middle of the desert like that. That's kind of It's kind
Yeah,
of cool to have like
it
something
was
that,
random, but it's really cute.
yeah, yeah. No, the whole thing is amazing that they did that.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I like the house, and it's built in a way
Uh-huh.
that it feels like you're in a cabin, like a really nice cabin,
Yeah.
like in a nice ski resort somewhere or something, or
Yeah.
like that. It's really cool over there. But I mean, yeah, so what's some other things too when I was younger? Well, you mentioned Tammy a lot. There's her kids. We'd go hang out with them. That was probably shouldn't say any of the bad stuff, but there's I don't really remember actually a whole lot. You probably remember a little more.
Yeah.
Um,
It was okay. I babysat for a while, while she was going to school.
yeah.
And yeah, Matt can tell you more.
Oh, how about this? How about this? What about me going to work with dad?
Oh, I love that story. I actually wrote that down. I think it was the
I wrote a
second
song
time
about it. Here, no.
the second time I went to Japan. He was watching you part of the time at work.
Who
And
was? Oh,
your
dad.
uh
Yeah.
and he said, "You came in, Dad, could I have whatever item? Twinkie?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Twinkie
Okay.
or
He had to
M&M.
stop whatever he was doing every time. Dad, can I
Want
have
some
an
yogurt?
apple? Huh? And then you go, your dad goes, if you ask me for food again, I am really gonna get upset. And so you go, can I sing you a song? I like to stick my spoon in yogurt. I like yogurt. He couldn't get mad at you, so he gave you
Yeah, he couldn't get mad at me anymore.
sing a song. Or he invented
Okay, that's clever. All right, I'll give him that.
it. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm glad that you wrote this stuff down though too, because there's a few things that we went over. What else did you write down that we haven't discussed? Do you
I
have
think I
something?
went over a lot of it.
Oh, over. Okay.
I
Oh
did.
man. Oh, there was also something
Playing
too.
soccer,
What's that?
Kokomo, playing soccer, Kokomo, turning off the TV to watch you. Even grandma and grandpa are like, yeah, we're good. Let's just let Jared do his thing so we can watch.
Yeah.
Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
That's the thing though, is nowadays there's so many more distractions. It's actually, hard to it's almost harder to pay attention to your kids now in that way. Like, yeah, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. I don't do anything with those anymore. For the last, I don't know how many years, like 6, 7 years, I just felt like it was a waste of time for me. But the thing is between other things that I do, you know what? I do spend a lot of time with my kids, actually. I'm always teaching them something or reading books to them or playing soccer with them,
Never
which is
regret it. Never regret
no,
it.
yeah, not at all. I mean, that's and it keeps my mind focused on things that are important too, especially when I got long COVID. Um, I mean, I was off work for a while, and that was the thing that, kept me sane. Actually, the thing that kept me sane the most was Garrison and Ezra going into soccer. And after that, I was like, I think I'm going to coach soccer because neither one of them are going to be with their coaches again. And I want to at least coach Garrison since he's still younger. So I have possibly, some progression over longer period of time. And surprisingly, some of the family members are like, are you going to coach again? Can you coach my son? I'm like, whoa, did I do that good a job? We lost like half the games or more. but I guess it's just the way that I was coaching. I'm like,
It's
okay.
the journey.
Yeah. And that's the thing though, is that I'm hoping with my kids that they're actually enjoying some of the stuff that we do together, and I think they do, as long as I'm giving some positive attention and I'm doing that with them. But
I wanted to, before we end tonight, are we gonna, if you have more questions or more prompts?
I didn't, I have some of the things that Josh wrote down, and there was some things that we had talked about before that I forgot because I was driving around anyway. But the thing is I just think about a lot of things that I can remember about myself. And, I guess that's a big part of what was going on for you
Oh, yeah.
too. Like one of the things that I remember you doing a lot was taking me and Brian out, or Susan, either one of you would take us to the skating rink a lot.
Yeah.
And
I like to skate too. I'd even go.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I was, my rollerblades, and they'd be like, all right, now the fast backwards skaters or whatever, and I'd skate the heck out of it as fast as I could.
I remember trying to
Forward.
learn how to skate, and I'm like, well, just put your right foot over. And then I'm like, you were having a really hard time doing it. You're left-handed. So you were having a hard time. You would have been doing your left foot. And
You're talking about regular skates, right? Or rollerblades?
yeah, just regular skating.
Man,
And
those things are
so
still.
when I go, well, try your left foot, and it was so much easier for you.
Oh, really? So if everybody had been going around the other way,
Yeah, it would have been easier.
it'd have been easy. But everybody was right.
No, you weren't. You were fine.
Yeah. But that's weird though, because when I fall, like I'm gonna step back on my right foot. So I stand regular foot, not goofy foot, like on a skateboard, snowboard, whatever. And it seems to
You're
me
right.
that yeah, I'm right footed in that. It seems to me
Yeah,
that
I'm left-handed when I do pool.
oh really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Nobody's left-handed when they do pool.
It's so weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's funny that out of 5 I had 2 lefties.
Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. That's a pretty
Talking to me the other
high
day.
percentage of lefties. Because there's really
We
nobody.
have a high percentage. The other night when you were over, there was at least 4 lefties in the house.
Really, there's me
And Aaron and one of Don's kids, or 2 of Don's kids.
oh,
They're lefties.
2 of them. Oh,
No,
okay.
Dennis is a lefty.
Yeah, Dennis is a lefty, but he's
And
also
then one of her kids. There was 4 of
also
you.
ambidextrous though, isn't he? Dennis?
Who?
Dennis.
He's
Isn't he ambidextrous?
predominantly left.
Yeah, but he's predominantly left. Okay.
Grandma said that her mother-in-law was trying to make him right-handed, and she told her, you won't see me again if you do that anymore. He's left-handed. Leave it alone.
Yeah. Yeah, let him be different. That's cool.
It's different. But back then it was not acceptable.
Yeah, and you whack him with a ruler for something like that.
Knuckle cracker.
Yeah.
There's I'm gonna try to find it real quick. I found it earlier. I'm gonna write it down. Because I was looking at papers to try to jog my memory, like, it says, what was your favorite movie as a kid? Things like that. That's not your segment, but it said, what do you want to be known? Like, how would you want your family to remember you? And it's a song called When All Is Said and Done. And I don't know how to say his name. It's Geoff Moore.
Jeff.
Jeff. My name is Jeff.
Yeah, my name is Jeff. That's one way you spell Jeff. Geoff. Jeff.
Okay, here it is.
I
want the lyrics.
Jeff Moore, huh?
Yeah. And when all is said and done. Maybe taking too long.
It's all right. It's fine.
Okay. Geoff Moore.
I was gonna say while you're looking at that, because you said it was on the website that's one of the things. Like, how would you want people to remember you, right? Well, from what I remember, and I think why not tell you my perspective, right, of what I remember of you. I remember you being very kind and understanding, where I didn't have any fear about talking to you or asking you about anything at all. And that you always came to my aid. I mean, I remember if I was scared, sad, or if I just wanted to have fun, like I knew I could joke around with you about anything, and you wouldn't be judgmental at all. It was just you were and still are always like a safe haven as far as that goes. And like I know how I can talk to you, I know how, but I think it really meant a lot to me, especially as a little kid, because there isn't a whole lot of people you can turn to in this world that you can feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you're pretty much the only one that isn't gonna, turn me away or be judgmental in any way. Even now, I mean, you'll still say something like, "Hey, you can't
Like,
do
go to
that." What's that?
Go to church.
Go to church. Yeah.
Remember, I always text you, go to
You
church.
scared? Go to church.
Remember, you want to be when Jesus comes back.
Yeah. That's something that they say at work. Not everybody says this, but there's a couple guys that have said that. They're like, "Hey, you scared? Go to church."
I get that from Joe Dirt. Is that where you
Yeah.
want to be when Jesus comes back?
Is that where you want to be? Lots of garden. But that's the thing, though, is that I mean, I don't think there's any one of my brothers that wouldn't be able to say the same thing.
Yeah, and I know
Sure.
Mark goes, "You're too hard on yourself, Mom. You really are." But I go, I know I was a better mom at times and absentee at sometimes, and and I feel like I just wish if I could tell you guys, your children, you're going to regret the times that you weren't uh, there mentally, physically.
It's true, but also that's the theme of all the 90s family movies of like the dad or the whoever was stuck at work all the time and let the kids down and let the whole family down. And what a terrible father. Like Hook, it's such a classic. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hold on, I need to take the phone call now." Oh,
Yeah.
can't
Oh,
believe
yeah.
and it's like, well,
Even
just
one of my favorite movies, Hook.
cut him some slack, cut him a little bit of slack. But the thing is I feel the same way too. I think all of us as parents do feel that way. Like I feel that way with my kids. And I feel like I can actually talk to my kids and explain to them how I'm feeling as a father, why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, why it makes sense from my perspective, and that I do feel bad for them too, but I don't think you should be hard on yourself, but I understand why you feel that way as a parent.
Yeah.
But I still, even though I feel like I can talk to my kids and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like they can talk to me, but still there's something different about a mother's nurture versus a dad's guidance / nurture, because our kids, they still look at mom as the one that they can talk to when they're having troubles. They'll still talk to me, but not quite like her. And so
I
yeah.
remember Garth Brooks once when I saw him, he goes, "I'll admit it, I'm a mama's boy."
Who said that?
He goes, "Huh?" He said he was a mama's boy, Garth Brooks,
Oh yeah.
because he loved his mama, and his dad, he loved his dad, but it was his mama. That's the only not regret. The only reason why I think sometimes it's lucky to have a girl, because when you have boys, they're like, "Well, you can't do that. You can't love them with all of your heart and wish you could be with them more." And that makes I don't know why that's true.
And it's and the way I know that that's not true is that since I've been on my own and talking to dad, some of the things that he said to me lets me know that he cares. Like, I shouldn't say some of a lot of the things that he says, it lets me know, like, even if he's still saying it in a dad kind of way,
Yeah.
you shouldn't do that, you should do this instead, or do that. He doesn't do that as much anymore at all, but even then when he's still saying something, it's taken well because I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I understand that it's out of concern, it's out of trying to help me out. And but yeah, I mean I feel like you know, he and I, through a lot of the things that we've talked about, especially whether it's like politics, but mainly investing, he and I have gotten to really, you know, come together more than anything else. And it's like, who knew that's who knew who knew that that's what Jared would be later? Because Jared that's not what Jared did when he was a kid. What Jared did was like fiddle fart around and do some stuff. Like he was climbing trees and fences and stuff, you know, and getting into trouble and
As you should be, huh?
taking his pants off and running down the street.
Straight naked as a jaybird. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
it's just, I'm sure it's a lot of fun for you to watch me grow up.
oh, so much
Well,
fun.
and all the boys too, not just me, of course, you know,
Yeah,
but
well, there's a special place in my heart for every one of you individually, collectively, but each one of you are different.
yeah.
And so I love you. You know, you guys tease me like, oh, Josh's favorite, he's the baby. You know, in the baby position, he is the favorite as the baby, but you hold a whole different position. You held youngest for 10 years. Then you were a middle child.
Yeah.
And then you became the oldest. You should be so messed up.
It's okay. We don't need, they don't even need to see this video. We'll just say that I am the favorite though.
Of course.
We won't let them know that
Of
though.
course. Yeah. And you had a shirt too that said it. I'm
What's
mom's
that?
favorite. You had a shirt. I'm mom's favorite.
Yeah. There's so many more things though that I can't even think of that you know that we could talk about
But you
too.
can edit it and we can do some more.
Yeah, we
But
can do some more later for sure.
there's like 2 songs, and that's the way grandma speaks to me even now. Obviously, she did that. But I hope you dance.
Mm.
And it describes exactly to the T how I feel about you guys. I hope you dance when life gets rough. You know, I want you to. I'm going to have the words in front of me, but I want you guys to head it head on and just keep going and know that your heavenly Father loves you. And when you get it out, when you get the chance to set it out or dance, I hope you dance. Figuratively speaking.
Yeah.
Or literally, either way.
Well,
But
it's a good
this
song.
is something that when that question was on the paper, how do you want people, you guys, your dad, my friends, to think about me? It's like when the music fades into the past, when the days of life are through, what will be remembered of where I've come when all is said and done? Will they say I love my family, that I was a faithful friend, that I lived to tell of God's own Son when all is said and done? Oh, how I long to see the hour when I could hear that trumpet sound, so I could rise and see my Savior's face and see him smile and say, well done. You can forget my name, the songs I've sung, every line and every tune, but remember the truth of Jesus' love when all is said and done.
A good one. Mm.
And I speak through music. You speak through music.
Yes. Yep.
So I hope sometime when you hear a song, unless Jesus comes back, which could be possible, with the world the way it's going.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
I'll be surprised if you get a song from me like Grandma does for me.
I'll look for it.
You'll get it.
I'll get it.
That's the way we speak. uh,
You know what? I just thought of something else too, because when you're saying something too about like I hope you dance. So it's under country music, right? I can't remember who was it that you said sang that song.
uh, Leanne Warmack.
Leanne Warmack. Do you remember taking me to, what was it, the Orange Show, right?
Oh, that was so much fun. Yeah,
Because we haven't been there
we did
in
more
like
than
how many?
once because I
Like,
kept on getting free tickets,
yeah,
and I go, "You want to go?" You're like, "Yeah, let's go." Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Over
uh,
there it was in San
Patty
Bernardino.
Loveless. Patty Loveless was one of them.
And Pam Tillis was the
Pat,
one that
Pat tell it. Oh, Pat, tell us too.
you had me take a flower and go give it to Pam Tillis, and I
Yeah.
was really young. I remember it had like the button-up shirt, and it was like stripes, dark. I think it was like a dark, like purple and like blue striped shirt or something, like a
Yeah.
little cowboy, had cowboy boots and a hat on, or
Oh, yeah.
something like that. And you had me go up to the stage, and that was amazing because most stages you can't get close enough, and this one was like we could walk right up.
Yeah.
And I remember being
That
scared.
San Bernardino, the fairgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah, the fairgrounds. Yeah. And I remember you telling me, like, go up there. And I was scared to do it. I'm like, I don't know if I can't do this, And I remember thinking Pam Tillis, like, she's really cute. She looks really good,
You really think
I can't say anything. Yeah. And you're like, just do it. Go, do it. She's gonna love it. She will? Yeah, she'll love it. Oh, okay. So I gave it to her and she was like singing, and then she like walks over and she comes up and like smiles at me. I'm like, oh yeah. And I run back to my seat. It's kind of like how Vivian is, like how cute she is. Like she's like a little nervous and
about
she's
the
like,
same
oh,
age?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, probably about the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then I remember there were some other country artists there too, and then we'd go do some kind of like two-step line dancing. You teach me how to
Yeah.
do some of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun. That was a lot of fun. And of course, there was the rides and everything else at the fair, or the Orange Show. It was a lot
Mhm.
of fun. Man, that was
Yeah.
something that you probably didn't write down, huh?
I didn't.
You didn't? Yeah, I'm just surprised that I even thought of it. I'm just trying to think about stuff back in the past, but probably maybe what we can do is pick up again where we left off, something like that. And if there's any more, because I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that we can talk about too. But um, you know, I started recording on my phone too after about 15 minutes or half an hour of talking on this and having this recorded. That it's an hour and a half on the phone. So let's just say it's been 2 hours
Yeah.
that we're talking. And the thing is there's still a lot of other stuff that we could talk about.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah. We can
this
run
will
through
help
and do
jog
the
my memory.
highlights.
What's that?
And we can run through and do the highlights too,
Yeah,
whatever you, yeah.
for sure.
I
I'm going
mean,
to send this over. If I can figure out how to do it, I'm going to send both the recording and like the audio recording and this video recording over to Josh as well. So
okay.
he, if he's got the time, to look at it, because it seems to me like they're going to transcribe it, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they're going to transcribe this whole thing or if, yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of video editing and transcribing and a lot of
Oops a
fun
lot.
stuff. Huh?
Oops a lot.
Oh, that's not my problem. We'll leave that to them. But anyway, but yeah, so, well, it's fun talking to you, and then maybe we'll get back together and do it again. And hopefully we can get it to where we can either leave the videos like they are like this, or change it into an interview style where we're both sitting in the same room and we already kind of have some of this stuff written out,
Okay.
to jog our memory, and then we could talk about. I mean, it's weird because we talked about some of this stuff before on the phone, and even though we did, it's still candid. It's still like as if we hadn't talked about it in like in a long time. Like
Yeah.
it's still fun to talk about.
Oh yeah.
That's the way I feel about it anyway.
It's quite a life, hasn't it? So far.
What's that?
It's. I mean, we only doing it for like 2 hours, but that's what 38 years.
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
Yeah, a little span.
And we talked about, not only stuff in the past, but even stuff more recent past too. So it's kind of,
Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
yeah. And we definitely talked outside of our age range. Whoops. Whoopsie. Oh, well.
Josh and I did too.
What's that?
Josh and I did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, Josh gave us some rules here. He should follow.
Abide by them. Rules
Yeah,
are rules.
abide by them. Be a good example.
Not to be broken.
But anyway, so yeah, so we'll stop here and then we'll maybe start up again.
Sounds good.
We'll put in 4 hours of stuff so that they're really like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But what you said you wanted to do this.
That would be Josh and Mom.
I gotta get this done before Christmas. He's probably watching this like later on going, Jared, shut up already. Like that's not
I gotta say one thing though. That one video or the one song that you sent me, I can't think of it right now. What was the latest one you sent me? Oh, about the mom dying and he wrote a song about her. Oh, help me through my troubles.
Is that
troubles?
Is it a country song?
Yeah. About how she helps him through his troubles.
Oh man, why am I drawing a blank?
Now I can go back and
I'm listening to too much
yeah.
music in Spanish that I don't remember anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Lighthouse.
And
yes.
I cried a few times.
Such a good song. That is. Matt was the one that said something about that song, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe the other one. There's a couple of their songs.
Mm-hmm. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But it made me feel like
it is such a sad song, but it's so good though that it's weird because there's certain songs that I can't exactly relate to, but somehow I feel it. I feel it like as if, because I think about that, like when you're not here or when dad's not here, what am I going to think? Right. Like You Should Be Here by Cole Swindle, I think. He's talking about his dad because his dad had passed away, and there's a lot of footage on the music video of his dad, him and his dad seeing some of his concerts and things like that. And it's such a good song, but you feel it when you hear it.
Well, I felt very honored to just have you think about me like that I can help you through things that you're going through, and because I know my mom did with me, and if I can be that kind of mom, I told my friends that once. I go, if I could just be half the mom that my mom was to me, and they go, I can't believe you said that because you're such a good mom. They were comparing themselves with me, and I'm like, but we're hard on ourselves.
But the thing is you're going like, but you don't know my mom though. You don't know her.
I know my mommy. She was.
But the thing is as long as you never give up, you're always trying, and obviously you don't. Any one of your sons can vouch for that, and people outside the family can vouch for that. That's what it takes right there, is never giving up, always caring.
I always say never give up, never give in. Don't give in.
I mean, I feel that way with my kids. It's weird. There's sometimes that I'll tell them like, fine, you don't want to listen to my suggestions. It doesn't seem to be doing anything for you or whatever. I'll say stuff like that, and it's kind of mean, and it's not right and it's not true. It may be true to a certain extent, only because they're kids and they forget. But for me, though, sometimes I get frustrated and fed up. But at the same time, they know that I still care, and I still tell them too that I care, and I still devote a lot of energy and effort and love and thoughts into how I can make their life a better life, how I can improve them in some way that, you know what I'm saying, in a good way. I'm not like just trying to, like crack the whip and tell them what to do. It's more of like, because I want them to be better, but I explain that to them, and I explain it in a way that hopefully they understand, that they feel that love and that care that I have for them, that I'm not just telling them what to do,
If they don't now, they will.
I hope so. Not everybody, it's not that way with everybody, right?
No.
Some of them don't, some people don't feel that way about their parents, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I love you.
I do, though. I look back and I'm like, and I think about that. I think about the good things that you and Dad have taught me. The kindness that you shared with me, and the persistence, and the understanding from your point, and also the good work ethic and the persistence from Dad, and then also the fact that the way he tried to impart certain portions of his knowledge with us, specifically about money and investing and things like that, but how that's shaped my life to this point. And like I said, some people look at me or him and say, well, you guys are really stressed out, you guys need to do this or that or whatever. But the thing is maybe it's a good healthy stress, the amount, because I don't feel like I go overboard on that. Maybe I'm stressed because I'm into a bunch of little things at once, but it's not because of one specific thing. And I feel
everybody's stressed.
What's that? Oh yeah, and everybody gets stressed. You get stressed if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
You get stressed if you do too much.
There you go.
You get stressed if you do a bunch of little things.
So,
there's no way around that one exactly, but I feel like it's the thing that I'm interested in, the things that I'm interested in, and not everybody is interested in those things, but there were certain things, that I think you had me read, whether it was John Lund's books when I was younger, whether it was some books about evidences of the Book of Mormon, things like that, videos and stuff, or books written by Stephen R. Covey, like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, things like that, or Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I think
Poor Dad, was it called Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
That's later on, but that's by Robert Kiyosaki. But still, the Dale Carnegie one, I think, if I remember correctly, I think that Grandma and Grandpa Shirtless let me have that one. They had it, and Dad was saying something. He's like, "No, that's a good book. I read it, or something like that, or you'll learn something good from it." I was like, "Really? You think so? I could learn something like that out of a book?" And yeah, I read that, and I read a few other books, but that Stephen R. Covey one, that got me to think about how I'm using my time efficiently, like how to be efficient with my time, but not necessarily where I'm just uptight and stiff like that. I can't have fun, and so now I feel like I can kind of do a little bit of both. I can organize my time and get things done and learn something new, be better than I was, that kind of a thing. That's kind of my goals, but I think it's because of the things that you guys introduced me to, because not everybody gets introduced to those. Yeah, well, I mean, your parents, or what you've told me about growing up, what Dad's told me about growing up, what Grandma and Grandpa Shirtliff has also, showed me, and books that they've, let me borrow or read or things like that. And that's who I am today because of you guys. It's because of the way that, anything positive that I can think of. I don't think I would have had that had it not been for how you guys helped me. And thinking back in the past, going, wait, that was the right thing to do, or that was okay.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, I'm going, I don't want to do this, whatever. That's being a kid. But as an adult, thinking back, I go, no, that was right. That was okay. That was good that they told me that.
Yeah.
That was a good thing that they, you know, did whatever they did, you know. So, but anyway,
All
well,
right. Love you. Give your boys a kiss for me.
love you too, and I will. And yep.
I'll
This
send
is
you that video.
yeah. All right.
Good
Bye
night,
bye.
babe. Bye.